What's going on, everybody? Fitter here from 3D Print SOS. Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, we are talking about the Stage Top 2 by Gutshot Games. Gutshot Games, huge shout out to you. Thank you for making this happen. I've been a huge fan of this project ever since the first Stage Top, and I just knew that I had to be a part of Stage Top 2. You guys might be asking, hey man, what is all this? Why are you showcasing this? Well, as some of you guys know, I like 3D printers. I love 3D printing, but I also really enjoy tabletop gaming and board games. I've been designing my own for a very long time. I have 3 of my own published. I've done art for some, so I've been in the scene for some time, and this brings it all together for me. The whole aim of this project is to give you guys the ability to make your own custom modular board game or tabletop table. There's lots of different styles to choose from, obviously any colors that you want. There's even thematic tables if you guys are into D&D or other tabletop style games. It is just so much fun. In fact, even if you just want to play some poker or some other card games, whatever it might be, you can set yourself up with a really cool card table. So the possibilities there are almost endless. And one of the cool parts about this is just the design of this entire project, because you don't have to have any fancy machine. In fact, as long as you can fit this base plate on something about the size of an Ender 3, you can build this entire project with just one machine. It'll just take you some time. So what I did is I wanted to get this done as fast as I could to show this to you as soon as I can. I went through about 12 spools so far in front of me, and I employed a lot of machines. The only machines I can't show you that aren't here are the ones at my office, which this whole thing will be going to, and that's the Chitty Q1 Pro and the Chitty +4 machines. Those have been printing these pieces for me in this beautiful color. I'll go over that in a second. The rest I'll show you in just 1 minute. So for this entire project, I chose the Panchroma line by Polymaker. The one that you don't see here is I have a 5 kilogram spool of black, because you just need a whole bunch of black for kind of like the legs and the under side of things. But what I chose with is marble white for the actual play tiles. They'll be on top of the table. I chose this awesome black color with sparkles in it for the armrest. They're absolutely beautiful. And then for the actual accessories and the accents, I chose the amazing Comet color, which just goes between green and purple and pink, and there's even a gray in there. It just looks amazing in the light, and we don't necessarily want this thing to be super blingy, but that little strip that you'll see a little bit later with this awesome color just adds so much depth to this table. So I'm going to show you where and how I printed this, what I had to do to print all of these parts, how they stick together, how they all come together. And I'm not going to print the full one. I'll save that for when this thing is actually done, but I'll show you guys a little 4x4 table that I can print that I can put together out of these parts, just so you get an example of what this thing is all about. So let's just get that started. Here, come over here, let's go. So first up, the PRUSA. I actually found out through this project what this machine is all about and who this thing is for. It is an absolute workhorse. Don't let anybody else tell you something otherwise. It printed all of these frames without asking for anything except for more filament, as well as all of these frame locks, which look like this, and they're absolutely flawless. And like I said, the only thing that it asked for was just more and more filament, and it just kept doing it and doing it absolutely perfectly. Love it, love it, love it. That's what the PRUSA was doing. Awesome printer. Not to be outdone by PRUSA, the Bamboo Lab was also busy printing a ton, especially this Galaxy Black. It did a bunch of these. This is the organizer armrest piece that you can put wherever you are sitting. We also have the cup holders, which came out absolutely perfectly, and this is the flat armrest. There's also curved versions of this that aren't in the shot. They're just too big to put in here. It also did some of these pieces that go underneath there, and the rest of them were done on the +4 and the Q1 Pro that are still at my office. But then again, we also threw in some of these little bits. These are the tile locks. These are the parts that lock in the actual color tiles on top of all the frames, as well as these cup holders. So yeah, this thing was pretty busy as well. Right next to there, we have the 85X, and the 85X printed our multicolor TPU, which is a pretty rare thing to do on 3D printing. So I still have to clean these things up, but it's TPU and it's multicolor. How cool is that? So we got a bunch of feet to go underneath of the legs so they don't scratch up the table, thanks to the 85X. Let's go. All right, then right over here we have my beloved K1 Max with the CFS upgrade, as well as my K2. They were put in charge of these larger play tiles right over here with this awesome texture to it. These are done in the marble color, and they just have this awesome texture and coloring to it. This is gonna look really good on that tabletop. Then, of course, the Magneto X got the party by doing a whole plate full of these half play tiles, which go on the outsides of the table, and they once again came out perfect. Gotta love this thing. We even got busy down here in the storage room in the back where my FLSUN V400 was, and that's because it can fit this ridiculous 5 kilogram spool contraption that I built out of an old Ender 3 style machine for this project. But essentially the filament spool can just feed directly into it, and there was plenty of space here, and this thing printed bags and bags full of parts. These are the locks that connect everything on the bottom together and make things a lot more sturdy. It also has these links that you kind of put in between them. Man, this is so cool. Let me put all this at the table and I'll show you guys what this thing looks like, at least in mini form. Let's go. All right, guys, back up here. I want to show you guys what this thing looks like in a mini form, just a 4x4 of these things. So let me put this thing together and show you what my personal table is going to look like. Let's go. Guys, take a look at this beautiful table. And so this is just a little baby version. This thing is a 4x4 and I'm doing it 5x7. So in this particular configuration, you could have this thing on the tabletop. You can play your games. If the game isn't done, you can set it aside, whatever it is. But hopefully this at least gives you a visual representation for just how cool you can make your own custom table in whichever colors that you'd like. You can see all the ridiculous bracing on the bottom, how cool this is. And there's also a lot of different ways to put this on top of your table. There's larger legs. Actually, these legs that I have here with the TPU feet, I actually shortened them quite a bit to make them. So this is just what I liked for my particular table setup because of my particular setup of where this is gonna go. But like I said, you can have this much larger. You can have this clamp onto the side of your own table, whatever it may be, this thing can accommodate. And here's the cool part. When you have more of these pieces, if you didn't want, let's say, this cup holder here, you remove it, you grab yourself a flat one, you put it in here, you make it nice and smooth, just like that. It's super modular. Or let's say this was longer, you had a player sitting here instead of right here today, you can remove this, put it wherever there is no player, and put their player piece right over here so that they have their own tray. You can have your card standing up, your pieces here. If this was longer, they could have their cup holder right here, have their drink. You can even have different accessories instead of things like cup holders, like dice towers. There's just all sorts of things, and I just really am so impressed by its modularity and what you can do with it. This type of thing brings me so much joy. So 3D printing, board gaming, custom, this is everything that I like to do, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. Guys, please support Gutshot Games. Go down below, check out that Kickstarter page. It's obviously over, but there is a link there where you can have a late pledge where you can get all these files through a different website, so follow those links. As well as if you checked out and liked any of this filament, I'm gonna have links down for Polymaker as well. Guys, go check this out. Print one of these, it's super cool. All right, that's gonna be it for me. As always, guys, there's a Discord for this channel. There's also a Patreon where you can support. Also, check out 3dprintsos.com for a bunch of cool merch, things like that. All right, I'm out of here. As always, I'll see you all in the comments. Later.